So the topic for today is subject verb agreement. Yeah, subject verb agreement. Okay, so let's do a few teasers, okay, that I've prepared for you. So can anyone tell me 4 quarts of oil dash required to get the car running? Okay, I'm getting the answers are, and I'm getting is also. Shubhashri Singh is, Kalpa Miss Singh is. Okay, most of you are saying are. I can see people typing in as is also. Okay, now people are saying is. Okay, so guys, yes, the first one is the 4 quarts of oil is required. Yeah, so it should be is and not are, because when we are referring to a quantity, we always say is. Okay, we never say are. Okay. Then the second one that we have is either Jessica or Kristen dash to blame for the accident. Okay, guys, can we have the second one? Can you please write in your answers for the second one? Okay, this is getting a little confusing. Okay, I hope you're writing for the second one, right, guys? Is, are, is. Okay. Okay, most of them, okay, it's like I think 50-50%. Are, is, are. Okay, so the second one, the answer is. Okay, either Jessica or Kristen is to blame. Okay, let's quickly move to the third one. Okay, yeah, either the bears or the lion dash from the zoo. Okay, either the bears or the lion dash from the zoo. Okay, so the word I can give you, okay, is from the zoo. Okay, again I'm getting R. Quite a few are saying. Okay, Medhavi, teasers are just just to tickle your mind a bit. Yeah, they're just sample questions. Okay, so either the bears or the lions is from the zoo. That's the correct answer. Coming to the fourth one of the teachers. The word is teach. Okay, one of the teachers teach. You have to tell me what will be the form of the verb. One of the teachers dash English. Okay, Shubhashri has come up with the answer. Very good, Shubhashri. Ayush is also correct. Okay, most of the people are writing in correct answers. Okay, great. So all of you, I think most of you have got the right answer. Okay, coming to the last one. This is a little tricky one, okay? So your jeans dash too tight. Okay, so you have to tell me what verb will you fill in over here. Okay, is, are, is, are, is. Okay, so guys, the answer for the fifth one is again are. Okay, your jeans are too tight. So guys, we'll come to the explanation. We'll just start with the explanation. Okay, so as most of you answered, that subject verb agreement means that the subject and the verb should agree in number. Okay, so for a sentence to make sense, if the subject and the verb do not agree in number, then the sentence will not make sense. Okay, this is the cornerstone rule, or the most important rule. This is the most important rule for subject and subject verb agreement. Okay, let's move on with the rules now. Okay, so the first and the most foremost rule is singular subject, singular verb, and plural subject, plural verb. Yeah, if the subject is singular, then it will take a singular verb. Yeah, but if the subject is plural, then it will take a plural verb. In the example, if we see, the dog growls when he is angry. Okay, the dog is singular, growls is also singular. The dogs growl. Dogs is plural and growl is also plural. Okay. Okay. So the tip, a very important tip for you guys is when there is an S after the noun, the verb does not have an S. Yeah. When there is an S after the noun, the verb will not have an S. Dogs growl. And when there is no S after the noun, the verb will have a S. Okay, very simple. Yeah, okay. So let's start with the rules, the proper rules. So, okay. Subordinate clauses that come between the subject and verb don't affect the agreement. Okay. So subordinate clause, I guess most of you know what is the subordinate clause. Over here, the subordinate clause is who is chewing on the jeans. Okay. So the okay. Yeah. So guys, there are two types of clauses, dependent and independent clauses. So dependent clauses are those clauses which don't make sense on their own. Okay. Yeah. Shubhashri, what didn't you get? Could you please write it down in the chat box? Which rule didn't you get? We're just starting with the rules. Okay, yeah. So over here, the subordinate clause, the dog who is chewing on my jeans is usually very good. Okay. So the dog is the subject and is our verb. So singular subject, singular verb. We don't see who is chewing on my jeans. Jeans will not affect the verb which is. Okay, Shia saying rule 2 I did not get. So Shia, this is the rule 2, right? This is the rule 2. Basically, you just have to identify the subject and the verb will be according to the subject. Okay. The subordinate clause is not will not affect the verb. Okay. 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 Coming to the second rule, prepositional phrases between the subject and the verb usually do not affect agreement. Okay. Let's take it in the example. The colors of the rainbow are beautiful. So all of us know what are prepositions, right? So the prepositional phrase starts from the preposition. Okay, so of the rainbow is your prepositional phrase. So the subject is colors and the verb is are. Okay, colors is your plural thing and your verb is also plural. Okay, guys, I hope I'm making some sense over here. Yeah, so could I have some responses? I hope I'm making some sense and not the whole thing is not just going over your head. Okay, Avishi is saying yes, Smita is saying yes. Okay, thank you guys, thank you. Okay, now let's move on to the next rule. Okay, when we have sentences which start with there or here, then the subject will be placed after the verb. Okay, normally what happens is the subject is placed before the verb. Okay, so in this case, you need to identify the subject, okay, whether it's plural or is it singular. If you see in the example, there is a problem with the balance sheet. So the verb is, okay, the verb is, and our subject is problem. Problem is singular, right? So problem is singular, our verb is also yes, Smita, excellent. Yes, it is auxiliary verb. Thanks for helping out. Thank you. And second, here are the papers you requested. So R is plural. So the subject also has to be plural. And or rather, I can say papers is plural. So the verb is also plural. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Okay, this is a very simple one. If two subjects are joined by and, then they will most of the times take are as the verb. The cow is singular, pig is also singular. But when we join the two subjects with and, then it becomes plural. The cow and the pig are jumping over the moon. Yeah. Okay. Okay. If the verb is singular, But if the two subjects separated by and, they refer to the same person or the thing as a whole, then we take the verb as singular. For example, red beans and rice is my mom's favorite dish. So red beans and rice, we are referring to the same thing over here, okay? These are not two things, but we are referring to the same thing over here. Red beans and rice is the same thing. So it's taken as singular. Yeah, it's taken as singular, and your verb is also singular. Okay? Okay. Another example that I can think of is bread and breakfast. Yeah. So over there also the verb that we use is singular. Okay. Okay. The next one that we have is, okay, milk and biscuit. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Shubhashri. Okay. So if one of the words, each, every, or no, comes before the subject, the verb is singular. So you need to just keep this in your mind. Each, every, or no. These three words, if they come before the subject, okay, then the verb is always singular. Yeah. No smoking or drinking is allowed. Even though smoking and drinking, we have two subjects, still the verb remains singular. Yeah, because no is there. Similarly, in the second sentence, if we see man and woman, every is there. Okay, so if every is there, then the verb becomes singular. This you just need to remember. Okay, each, every, and no. Okay. Okay. If the subjects are both singular and are connected by the words or, nor, just remember, or, nor, neither, nor, either, or not only but also, then the verb is singular. Okay, just to put it in simple words, if the two subjects, if in the sentence you see Jessica is singular and Christian is also singular, okay, they're connected by the word or. So if the two subjects connected by or, both the subjects are singular, then the verb is also singular. Okay, Smita, your tuition is going to start at 5. So you just hang on till 5 and then you can probably log out. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. So I hope this rule is clear, guys. Two subjects are singular, joined by or, then the verb is singular. Okay. The singular verb form, okay, we did this as a teaser. Remember, guys? 4 quarts of oil was required to get the car running. So the singular verb form is usually reserved for units of measurement or time. Okay. Yes, Shubhashri, we did this in teaser. Yeah. So 4 quarts of oil, measurement or time. So it remains singular. Okay. Yeah. So for time and for units of measurement. Okay. Now, if the subjects are both plural, okay, if you see the sentence, not only the dogs but also cats are available at the animal shelter. Now, the two subjects, dogs and cats, both are plural. Okay. So it says not only dogs but also cats are available. So the rule says if the two subjects both are plural and are connected by the words or, nor, neither, nor, either, or not only but also, then the verb is plural. Yeah, got it, guys? Dogs and cats, plural, and the subject and the verb is also plural. Okay. Now, guys, this rule is a little dicey. I mean, this rule, you need to pay attention, okay? If one subject is singular, okay. Yes, correlative conjunctions. Great, Adil. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. If one subject is singular and the other is plural, okay? One subject singular and the other is plural, and the words are connected by the words or, nor, neither, nor, either, or not only but also, which are your correlative conjunctions, then we have to use the verb form of the subject that is nearest to the verb. Okay. For example, if you see this, either the bears or the lion has escaped from the zoo. So bears is your plural and lion is your singular. Okay. So the verb will take that number which is closest to the number of the subject. Lion is singular, so your verb will also be singular. Yeah. And if you see in the second example, it gets vice versa. Neither the lion nor the bears have escaped from the zoo. Okay. So over here, our subject, which is closer to the verb, is plural. Yeah. So if the subject closer to the verb is plural, then the verb will also be plural. Okay, guys? This corollary of the first rule is very important. Okay. Okay, ma'am, what does it mean by correlative conjunction? Okay, correlative conjunctions are those conjunctions like either or, neither nor, not only but also. All those are correlative conjunctions. Okay. Okay. Indefinite pronouns typically take singular verbs most of the times. Okay, there are some exceptions. What are indefinite pronouns? Indefinite pronouns like everybody. Okay, indefinite pronouns are those pronouns in which we are not referring to something specific. So it takes a singular verb, like everybody wants to be loved. Yeah, everybody wants to be loved. So the exception to this rule, we have few, many, several, both, all, and some. These always take plural verb. For example, few were left alive after the flood. Or we can say, all were left alive after the flood. Some were left alive after the flood. Okay. But these take plural, but everybody, nobody, all those, they take singular verb. Okay, Medhavi Singh didn't understood. Medhavi, can you tell me what part you didn't understand? Can you write it in the chat box? Okay, ma'am, pronouns mean the word which is used instead of noun. Exactly, Sohan. Correct. You're right. Yeah. So, yeah. So there are different kinds of pronouns. The rule. Okay, Medhavi. So there are different kinds of pronouns. We have possessive pronouns. We have personal pronouns. We have indefinite pronouns. We have different kinds of pronouns. Okay. So everybody is an indefinite pronoun. Okay, Medhavi. So in the rule says that indefinite pronouns, they typically take singular verbs. Okay, so everybody is an indefinite pronoun, so it's taking a singular verb. Okay, remember this. Indefinite pronouns, most of the times it takes singular verb. Just remember this, okay? But there are exceptions which are written, several, both, all, some, and few. They take plural verb. Okay, Medhavi? I hope it's clear now. Okay, great. Thanks, Medhavi. Okay. I hope everyone knows what are infinitives. Okay. So infinitives are those verbs which are like to walk, to is there before the main verb. For example, to walk, to chew. Okay? These are your infinitives. So when there is, okay, yes, Subhashri, you're right. Indefinite pronouns, singular. Yes, Shubhashri, you're right. Like everybody was singular. Exactly. Okay, coming to this rule, to walk and to chew gum require great skill. So if two infinitives are joined by and, then the verb will be plural. Okay, guys, just remember, if the two infinitives are joined by and, then the verb will be plural. Yes, Sohan, and is a conjunction. Yeah, Shubhashri, infinitives are those verbs which have a to before them. Okay, which have a to before the main verb. Yeah, in the simple form, to walk, to chew, to sleep, all these are infinitives. Okay, Deepti, okay, Shubhashri, yeah. Okay. Okay, then we have a term. Gerunds are those verbs which are used as nouns. Yes, Sohon, and is used to join two sentences. Yes, thank you. Okay, so gerunds are, what are gerunds? Can anyone tell me? Can you please write it in the chat box? If anyone knows what are gerunds? Okay, not a problem. So, okay, not a problem. So guys, gerunds are those verbs which are used as nouns. Okay, clearly, uh, gerunds are those words. Uh, okay, gerunds are those verbs which are used as nouns. Okay, yes, they end in ing. Exactly, Arav. Yes, Mayank, you're right. Okay. So they take singular form of the verb. However, when they are linked by and, they take plural form. Very simple. Standing in the water was a bad idea. So gerund is standing. Okay. Standing is singular, so our verb is singular. And if we have two gerunds, swimming in the ocean and playing drums are my favorite hobbies. Yeah. Swimming and standing both are gerunds. Okay. Yes, Vaishnavi, you're right. They are verbs which are used as nouns. Mayank is also right. Kalpam, type of infinite. Kalpam, not infinite verbs exactly, because in infinite verbs we have two, right? But gerunds are different. Yeah, they are like, yeah, verbs uses nouns. Okay. Okay, coming to the next one. Okay. I did not understand gerunds. Okay, Adil, gerunds, they typically end in ing. Okay, they typically like standing, playing, typing, or look. All these are gerunds. Okay, they are verbs which are used as nouns. Yes, Deepti, you're right. Okay, coming to the next one. A collective noun such as team or staff can be either singular or plural depending on the rest of the sentence. However, the typically they take the singular form as a collective noun is treated as a cohesive single unit. Okay, just to make this simple, collective nouns usually take a singular verb. Okay, for example, the herd is stampeding, or you can say a pride of lions is sitting there. Okay, so normally what happens is the collective noun, yeah, a group of something, exactly, Vishnu, thank you. So a group of something will take a singular noun. Yes, Sohan, yeah, collective nouns are those nouns which refer to groups. Yes. Okay. Okay, coming to the next one. Sometimes the subject is separated from the verb by such words as, okay, so we have some words which are separated from the verb, which have something like along with or as well as. Okay, just remember that whenever we have along with and as well as, these words and phrases are not part of the subject. Okay, guys, wherever, yes, herd of elephants. Exactly. Good, good. Yeah. So wherever we have along with and as well as, it would not affect the subject. Okay. So we have to ignore. We have to ignore that part of the sentence. So if we see the example, the politician along with the newsman is expected shortly. So our subject over here is politician, not newsman. Okay, guys. The subject remains politician, and so the verb politician is it is singular. So our verb is also singular. Yeah. So excitement, again, excitement as well as nervousness, we will not take it as plural, we will take it as singular. Excitement is the cause of her shyness. What? Just 1 second. Shaking. Okay. Excitement as well as nervousness is the cause of a shaking. So just remember, along with and as well as, we will not take them to be along with the subject. Okay. The subject remains singular. Okay. Okay, let's recap the main rule. Can anyone tell me what is the main rule? Yeah, please guys type in what is the main rule. Remember, we did it in the very beginning, the main rule. Okay, it's 5-2. Okay. So yeah, I'm just done with the presentation. That's the last slide. Subject affect the verb. Yes, it does. Thank you, Shubhashri. To be more precise, the number of the subject affects the number of the verb. Yes. Anyone else? When the subject is singular, the verb is singular. Very good, Mayank. Deepti, noun is singular when the verb will also be singular. Excellent. Great, guys. I think these are some of the rules which are there. You need to know these rules. And yeah, so the final rule is only the subject affects the verb, nothing else matters. So what you have to do is, the most important thing is to identify the subject. Jacob, who owns 16 houses, is on his way to becoming a billionaire. So the subject over here is Jacob. Okay. Okay. So guys, that's it for me. I hope this class was a little useful. Thank you guys. Thank you, all of you. Thank you guys for your comments and everything, for your cooperation. Thank you guys.